Welcome back after the break. We are at track 2 in the Vivida room, and we start with a talk with Jaime Martínez. Jaime is a happy coder at level, and his colleagues are over here, I presume. Yes. And with 87 commits and WP CLI, an organizer of the Rotterdam WordPress meetup, we know Jaime is a long-time WordPress enthusiast. His talk is all about developing for WordPress with Twig and the Clarkson plugin, which he describes best as a template engine with under the hood a collection of object-oriented WordPress classes and some lightweight handy features. With over a year of development on the Clarkson plugin, we can only appreciate him being here to tell us all about it. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jaime Martínez.
Hi there, everybody. This is really fun. My name is Jaime Martínez. I'm a developer at Level, and that's where we developed the plugin Clarkson. And this is our story about our journey with Twig. Who of you know Twig? How? I like. Who of you worked with Twig? Okay, yeah. Well then, who of you worked with WordPress and Twig? I know Rast. He has his own plugin. This is the setup. And Stencil. Where's Yip? Yip, where are you? I can find him. But we developed, another plugin. There are not that many plugins with Twig. But what is Twig? As Ruud said, it's a modern templating engine for PHP. They say it's fast, they say it's secure and flexible. And especially the flexible part is the thing that I like about Twig. I got introduced to Twig when developing with Symfony. And I wanted it for WordPress, and now it's here. But what's this Clarkson I'm talking about? Clarkson is, like Ruud already also said, it's a WordPress plugin which encourages you to write object-oriented code with Twig, and to keep the development as close as to the regular WordPress way, so we don't have to learn new ways of implementing our templates. The Twig part is kind of a replacement of the get template part. Everybody use the get template part in the functions? Everybody. Yeah, well, you don't have to use it anymore because Twig has its own ways of including parts, partials, creating templates. The other part of Clarkson is it contains some handy classes to use within your Twig templates, like the WP post or the terms, and it makes the loop available, but for Twig. But what problem were we trying to solve? Anybody, what problem did you try to solve when you were working with Twig? Templating inheritance. That was it? Yes. Anybody else something when they were working with Twig? Well, that thing, the inheritance, is also one of the things that I really like about Twig, and which will I explain also. The whole thing is, like Danny said, he wanted a better and modern templating engine. It's on position 4, but it was for us was position 1. And this better modern templating, the thought about it, behind it, was separation of concern. So you don't have this overlap of some logic in your templating, or some data manipulation in your templating, or some logic that checks if you may or may not visit the page, if you're authorized to look at it. I've been there. I created this long single.php files with, especially when I first started developing, there were like 400 or 500 lines of codes, and we all been there. Nobody can say, no, I've not been there. But we try to separate it. So every part, every moving part has its own responsibility. And the thing was, I thought it started with introducing Twig to WordPress. One of the things, besides the templating hierarchy, is the thing of creating magic variables. Who knows WP Post, the global? Well, it's just there. It magically appears, and we can do this also with Clarkson. We created a little. I'm introducing a little example of how to create some footer site-wide. These are some code examples. This is how I did it before Twig. Especially this part, where you get some info, where you do some PHP, calling some PHP function, and this is a simple file, but as I said, you know, they grow fast and faster and faster, and they become large files. We try to separate this. This is an example of a Twig file, and it's cleaner, it's easier on the eye, and there's no logic besides an if statement. That's it, if it's there or not. The beauty of this is that you can put the data in another file, and you don't need to understand everything, but the magic happens here. That you create this magic footer variable, and it has a menu and a little bit of text. And this is the same code, but the thing is, now it's separated. It's the template, and it's the code for the data. Templates. We said we wanted to use the regular theme hierarchy. So if you want to create a single .php, you can create a single .twig. And it's easy as that. This is a theme hierarchy that Russ was talking about. The beauty of Twig is that you can create blocks that can be overridden in sub-templates. This is a content block, and this is, you can name it whatever you would like, and this is the fallback. So if you would create a single .twig, you only have to override the block that you would like to override. Easy as that. You don't have to repeat yourself, and this separation is also a thing that we really like about it. So again, separation. This is an overview of a site we created. These are all posts, and not only on the template layout level, but also on little partials. You can create the same, apply the same logic. It's just a div that can contain anything, and you can extend it, and you can override the content. Again, same blocks, different content. With CSS, we can separate we can apply this method also by creating, like I said, the content and separate it from how it's the size of it. Especially this one is 1 by 1, and if we look closely, now it's 2 by 1, and this separation is saving us a lot of time while developing modular websites. And building it with Twig, using Twig made it very easy for us to implement it. And we only needed to switch these CSS classes. This was the one that was 2 by 1, and it was 1 by 1. So again, same separation, but not on PHP and template file, but also within your CSS. We try to separate everything. But then there's this thing called custom post types. Everything is a different custom post type. So, oh, sorry. Well, this is the other part of the WordPress objects I was talking about. That's incorporated within Clarkson, that helps us separate and inherit logic from each other's objects. Here we got the main Clarkson post. Does anybody know why we can't use WP post?
It's final.
Exactly, it's final. So we needed to create our own class to make it that our base class. And each post and a special post and an advertorial inherit all these, get the permalink, get the title, etc. From this main Clarkson post. It extends the Clarkson post, and we had this 1 by 1 grid size, or 2 by 1. You can just get post metadata, and it's available for everything that will extend it. You can then again extend and a level deeper and override functions. So you can use filters for get the title, but this way we keep it a little bit more sane. We keep it in one way. Like I said, these post data, like the grid size, from PHP you can just call, you create a new post and you just call get grid size. That's it from PHP. From in your Twig template file, you can call object.getGridSize. So the class that was enabling you to switch the size of the grid size, so what I was talking about was a little bit distracted. You can just call it, and you can also call the permalink, or you can call the title. You can call everything that's available on the normal, regular WP post. And you can introduce new ones yourself. But what's this object thing? Does everybody know what the loop is? Okay, well, yeah, it's quite important. Clarkson makes it so that the loop is also available for you within your templates. And you do the loop, and inside that you can call getPermalink. This object is the representation of a single post. We named it object because it's a more general name, instead of calling it also post, because it can be a car or all kind of different post names. Again, this inheritance and separation and not needing to repeat yourself are the main goals of using Clarkson, and Twig enables us to do that in a better way. So this is kind of the end already. We use Twig templating because you can include, you can extend, you can even embed, override blocks. The possibilities are endless with Twig, and it makes us happy when we develop with Twig. I know when our interns started working with Clarkson, they said we don't want to go back to old school PHP WordPress projects, and we only wanted to work with Twig, and that was a how do you say it in English? Compliment? A compliment, yes, simple. The thing is, you can magically register the variables, so you can apply that separation of your template and defining all these variables in another place where you can keep them. We encourage to separate, encouragement of separation. We encourage to develop and think about the modularity you are applying to your project. Because there's a moment that grows. There's a moment when your project grows and you cannot just do something. We have to really think because it has so much impact on the future and on other developers who have to work with you after you are finished with the project. And what really helped us was the WordPress objects. Thank you, Human Made, by the way, because we borrowed them from Human Made and we make some little performance tweaks. But these all helped us very, very much. You can use these WordPress objects in your own project because we didn't had Twig before and we already used the WordPress object before. So if you don't want to use Clarkson, but I hope you do, you can still use this method of working. Adios. If you want to visit Clarkson, here's the link. And thank you.
Okay, we have 5 minutes remaining for questions. We heard a lot of new content and I already see a question here. All right, thank you. So who is getting your mic? Dave.
I'm interested, so surprisingly a lot of hands went up for using Twig. Quite a few hands went up for using Twig with WordPress, which I'm happy to see. It wasn't the case like in earlier years. And there are already other existing solutions existing for Twig as well. So as you mentioned, there is my library, Meadow, which almost no one uses. And there is Timber, which is used by quite a few people. So I'm interested, what was your deciding point to make what your plugin does that other solutions been unable to provide for your requirements?
Good question. When we started on developing Clarkson, we weren't. We didn't know your plugin was there. Anton said you already made that. With Timber, you need to create an index.php, and it's kind of your controller. You have to set up code there, and if you have to create a single .php, you have to create your code there. And that was a kind of pollution in your theme that we didn't want to have. So we just wanted our Twig files in our themes and our CSS gulp or anything like that. So
okay, thank you. That was precisely my disagreement with Timber as well at the time.
Great, great.
More questions? Is anyone raising their hands? Yes, in the back, Anton.
Which challenges did you face when developing Clarkson?
Maintenance. Well, using it already in production, that was the main challenge. We thought we have to test run it, and we just did it. But it created a little bit of overhead on our projects. Sometimes a little bit more than we expected. The other thing was not all of our developers were known with Twig or with Clarkson, because we started with 2 people working on the project, and because we were already using it in production, we had to teach them on the fly. So it had, above the extra development, you already have this new learning curve. So that's the main thing that was, well, bumping us a little bit.
We have time for one more question. So who will take the last question for Jaime? Yes, over there in the middle.
Is it free? Is it free and will it stay free? What's your future view
It's
on
free.
it?
It's on GitHub, and it will be. It stays free because I want to use it forever. So even if, yeah, well, the end, no, yeah. I wanted to say something funny, but I can't. No, it will stay free. Yeah.
It's MIT license.
Oh, MIT license, or GPL, or something like that.
We still have time, or no? Your time's up.
No, we will talk
Yeah,
afterwards.
you can see Jaime later on in the transit area, or with the after party if you will be there.
I will be there.
You will be
Yeah.
there. All right. Thank you, Jaime.
Thank you, everybody.